Now 6 months of tax cuts. President Trump marking a milestone at the White House later today. 6 months since signing the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act into law. Ahead of the event, President Trump touted the economic accomplishments of his administration during a groundbreaking of the $10 billion Foxconn factory in Wisconsin yesterday.
We're open for business, made in the USA. It's all happening, and it's happening very, very quickly. We've created 3.4 million jobs. At the center of America's economic resurgence are the massive tax cuts that I signed into law 6 months ago. But when you look at what we're doing, it's very simple. It's called Keep America Great. We'll get you nice hats. Maybe we'll make them green this time instead of red. Green, representing cash.
Joining me once again right now is Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, and you've got to say congratulations to you on all of these accomplishments. Between the tax cut plan, the rolling back in regulations, and just a focus on economic growth and jobs, you've actually moved the needle so far. Where are you in the process? You sat down and took this job and said it's about tax, it's about growth, it's about trade. Tell us where you are.
Well, I would say we couldn't be happier with the progress that we've made, but we still have more to do. And I think you saw yesterday, I was pleased to be with the president in Wisconsin. Here's a perfect example of bringing advanced manufacturing back to the United States. This never would have occurred if it wasn't for the tax cuts and for us changing from an international system that was broken to a very competitive tax system that now works for business and works for hardworking Americans.
Last time I spoke with you, I told you about people saying, look, in 2 years, things are going to slow down quite considerably. You said, I don't see that. In terms of rates going higher, interest rates, a little inflation here and there. We see where oil prices are. We see where some products are in terms of consumer goods are. They're moving higher in price. Are you worried that that cuts into the growth numbers that you're seeing?
I'm not worried. And Maria, let's just put this in perspective. So first of all, a year and a half ago, when we were talking about 3% growth, everyone was laughing and saying that was impossible. Now we're talking about getting a GDP number that is 4% or higher. The Atlanta Fed is pushing. It could be as high as 4.7. We see this growth, and we're going to have sustained growth. We've been very clear. The plan is 3% or higher sustained growth. Now, as it relates to inflation, a little bit of inflation is a good thing. So, you know, the Fed has actually been for a while targeting higher inflation. Obviously, during the campaign, one of the things we've been very focused on is wage growth. Great financial markets for the last 8 years. No wage growth for the last 8 years. We can check that off the box. We've now, thanks to President Trump's economic plan, we're seeing wage growth. And we'll see. I think inflation will be under control, but that's something we've got to be careful and we'll watch.
The one uncertainty, as you know, tariffs and trade, according to markets and individuals looking at the back and forth, the tit for tat. You've been leading the charge in terms of Beijing and our relationship there. I know you've talked a lot about the investment restrictions that we were expecting are not happening. Give us a status check of what's going on with China and the United States. Are we in a trade war?
Well, we're not in a trade war. We're in a trade dispute with them. And we've been very clear. Our objective is to have reciprocal trade. And I think everybody understands this. We have the most open investment market. The restrictions that we're putting forward through FIRMA, this is about protecting critical technology. This is not about doing anything more than that, whether it's China or anybody else. And we will continue to make sure that American workers and American companies get a fair fight in China. And that's what this is all about. Big opportunity for American companies if we can get this right.
I'm glad you mentioned FIRMA and CFIUS, the group that's actually watching and tracking foreign investments in the U.S., and that's what you're going to strengthen, right, in terms of making sure that China doesn't continue stealing our technology. Or is there no answer to that?
No, there is an answer to that, okay? And whether it's China or anybody else, we've been working with Congress for over the last 6 months. We couldn't be more pleased. This passed in the House 400 to 2. I mean, think about that.
It's incredible.
Okay? I mean, if that's not bipartisan, what is?
Right.
This is something that everybody agrees on. We want to protect United States critical technology, and we're going to. That's not directed at China. That's directed at everybody. And whether they're joint ventures, whether it's export controls, we will make make sure that the crown jewels of American technology are protected.
And I think most people do get that. You're right. People know that China has been stealing our intellectual property and forcing this transfer of technology. But what about the aluminum and steel tariffs, Secretary Mnuchin? I mean, people are wondering, yes, we get the issue on China, but why put tariffs on all of our allies? If you really want to get to China, why not team up with our allies and all agree together that we want to make sure to stop China from its wrongdoing?
Well, let me first comment, we are working with our allies. So when I was at the G7 finance ministers meeting, this was an issue that we discussed and is important to all of the G7. The second thing I would say is the president was very clear he wanted to protect the steel and aluminum industry that are critical to the U.S. And I think it's very unfair. We put tariffs on, okay, that were very specifically designed. We've been very careful. We've put quotas on certain countries. We've been very careful in negotiating deals. We've negotiated a lot of deals. I think it's very unfair that the EU has responded with tariffs on other things. And they've done that, and it's politically motivated. And if they object to our steel tariffs, that's something that they should go through the WTO and others, but they do not have the right to respond in a political fashion and hurt our farmers and our critical other areas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the issue keeps coming back to the fact that what do you have? How many employees in the aluminum and steel industries versus the number of employees in the aluminum and steel importing industries? I think you're talking about 6.5 million jobs versus 130,000 jobs. So is it really worth putting all these tariffs on these countries when, in fact, these two industries are actually a lot smaller than the industries that are using aluminum and steel and importing it and having to pay these tariffs?
Maria, let me be clear that the economic team and the president understands these issues very carefully, that we're not going to let this hurt economic growth, that we're going to be very careful. But the president is determined to negotiate free trade. And by the way, it's not coincidental that you saw the first time a bunch of German car companies saying to their government, lobbying to reduce tariffs to zero. That didn't occur at a coincidence. That occurred because the president was fighting for our car companies and American industries, and all of a sudden they're now willing to drop their tariffs. So let everybody drop their tariffs.
That's a great point.